the first year is rough because you don't have a rhythm yet. You're buying computers. You're trying to figure out advertising. You're trying to figure out a website. You're trying to get clients in, build a sign. And you forgot the X-Acto knife only goes through like 6 cuts, and then you got to replace the blade or else it'll squish the vinyl. But there's a lot of learning in that first year. Hello, everybody. How are we doing? You're back with the AC Method, the entrepreneurship and motivational podcast for the custom manufacturing and signage industry. Each week, I'm going to draw on more than 2 decades of business management to share shortcuts and insights that help the owners and leaders succeed. Today, we're shifting gears to explore a little interaction of storytelling and signage, and we're going to unpack how creative communication shapes brand identity. But before I introduce our amazing guest on the show, I do got to tell you that, man, I was at Supercross this weekend. It was so much fun. And Supercross is something I've never done before for all you guys that are motorheads. The races started at 4 p.m. How cool is that? I'm on the West Coast 4 p.m., which means all my East Coast friends got to see it at 7 p.m. And then all the East Coast riding is at 7 p.m., so I get to see it at 4 p.m. So by them staggering it on the time zone, it actually is the same time for you throughout the whole entire race. So I thought that was pretty slick. I wish sign guys would do that. You know, the East Coasters start at 8 a.m., the West Coasters start at 5 a.m., and we all get done at the same time. We walk off the job site the same. I could get used to that. I'm not going to lie. Get used to that. So, all right, without further ado here, our guest introduction. Peppur is an international writer, producer, and educator with a passion for amplifying women's voices and social justice through storytelling. She founded Pen and Peppur when she ghostwrites books and provides copywriting services to entrepreneurs and small businesses. She also created the women's lifestyle brand Brown Betties, which includes award-winning web series, empowerment workshops, and 2 published novels. Alongside her husband, Matthew, she co-owns Collaborative Sign and Design in Arizona, bringing more than 35 years of combined experience in entertainment, finance, and business management. Together, they craft signage, blend creativity, strategy, and functionality for companies across the Southwest. Good Lord, that's a hell of an intro right there, my dear. How are you doing?
I'm delightful. Thank you, Aaron. That was fantastic. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my ghostwriters, they must have found all kinds of stuff on you. I'm reading this. I'm getting excited just to talk to you off of that.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm like, oh gosh, yeah, all the things.
International writer. I'm starting with that one. That one popped out the most. How do you become an international writer?
International writer. So I lived in the Czech Republic for 3 years, and I learned to speak Czech. Dobrý den, that's hello in Czech. And so I ended up there because of theater. I have a really good friend, Nicole. She found this theater festival. We submitted, we got in, and then one thing led to another when we ended up living there, and she's still there.
Wow. All right. And you guys have written one book, multiple books?
Yes, I've written multiple books. I have a Harlem series, so got them right behind me, actually. Harlem's Last Dance is the last one I did, and the one before that was Harlem's Awakening, and I'm working on the third. And 1940s fiction. I love the 40s, and it's about a woman named Harlem, and things happen to her. She's a dancer, and things happen.
I love it. 1940s is a good era. That was a really good era.
Do you love it?
I do.
Yes.
I do. It was right before, right in the middle. I mean, you got World War II on one side, but before that, we had such an economic boom coming out of the Great Depression. 40s was a good time.
It's a good time, right? Beautiful.
In a beautiful time when you only needed a single income to have a household survive.
And there you have that.
And the traditional rules and the additional roles of the family nucleus was there. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I hate the 2 income that we need to do in this society. It's not healthy.
No, it's not healthy. And we hope that, yes, people were able to do all of that. My character is in the middle of that, but all women living together and how they're making money and all of that. So, yeah, I think it was an interesting time concern around that money. Yeah.
So for me, I have deep roots, deep roots. I am 4th generation San Diegan. The Clippingers came here in 1910, 1907, and, we've never left. Yeah. And so to hear somebody move out of state, I'm like, oh, wow, you're going to make that jump. And you're like, nope, a whole other country. I am making this jump. You got to walk me through that. What made you make the jump over to the United States?
Well, I knew that I would always live internationally. I thought I would live in France because in junior high school I studied French and I had a teacher from Douai, France, and I always wanted to go to where she was from, and so that was brewing, from a teenager, and then what I was saying with theater. I like to say that my words give me wings. And theater literally is what got me to another country. It was a theater festival, and I was like, to be honest, I didn't know where the Czech Republic was at that time, which is, not very smart of me, but I didn't know where it was. And the language was completely, that word foreign. But I have a really strong family, and as scared as I was, they were absolutely telling me, you must go. They helped me raise money. They gave me money, that thing of like, get on the airplane and kick your butt and go. And without that support, I think I really would have been like, oh, I don't know. But yeah, it was theater and support.
So from another country, I'm going to guess that New York and Broadway, that was the goal, right? That was where you kind of were aiming towards?
I was, Aaron. I still want to be on Broadway. I mean, for the love of Pete. I love theater. I love the stage. And oh my God, I had this book called something like The Smiths Go to New York. It was a 1940s style book, hardcover children's book. And I would read it and like, I'm going to New York. I'm going to New York. And oh my gosh, I just knew I would be there. And again, that's why I got there. It's in my spirit and my soul that I needed to live in this place that had this dynamic, like I'm with my arms, I'm this big, huge, dynamic feel. And like New York is the place. Like, how could you not want to live in New York? So yeah, it became a goal, and I moved there in my late 20s, and I did it. I was there. It was fantastic.
And to be on Broadway, let's not lie, you got to be pretty darn talented. You got to be able to dance. You got to be able to interpret. You got to be able to show emotions physically through dance. You got to be able to sing. Can you sing?
I can sing, yes. But I'm over here laughing because the reality of Broadway is that I was not fit for Broadway. So I could do a little singing, a little dancing, a little acting. And then, you have to really be phenomenal in all three, And so that's when I realized, okay, Broadway will probably not be my place. I could maybe write. I still have that dream. I think I could write something that could end up on Broadway. But I auditioned for Stomp. Do you know that show?
Yes.
Yeah, with the brooms and the thing and the clanging and all the things. And I auditioned for some off-Broadway Chicago, and I would get, I'd be there and the spotlight would be on, and I'd be auditioning, and I would do something that would mess it up. And so But, I realized early on, I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are like amazing. This whole triple threat is real. And I'm kind of a good single and a half threat.
Hey, it's better than me. I'll tell you right now, nobody wants to hear me sing. It's not going to end well. Cats start screaming zip codes away. It's ugly.
Stop.
So it's just so funny that I'm just listening to all this, and you have all this ways of expressing yourself and talking about this.
Yeah.
And in a lot of ways, people use dance and interpretation to, express themselves, but to communicate. That's the end of the day. They're communicating. They're trying to communicate an emotion. They're trying to communicate a message. They're trying to communicate something. And I'm giggling over this because did you know that the signage industry was actually the first industry to try and protect the First Amendment?
No, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. And the First Amendment with free speech, with people were starting to say, you can't have this sign, or can't say this, and you can't say that. And so for whatever reason, we became the spokesperson for the First Amendment, saying that no, signs can say this, can't say that. And we've actually, when I say we, I mean the International Sign Association. They're the ones heading this, and we give them the money, we help out. But yeah, no, I remember when I got in this industry, which is the late 90s, I was only a teenager at the time. These were heavy conversations going to run legislation. And then it was a First Amendment. And then also the Dark Skies Ordinance, which ended up getting passed to a point where all of our lights had to be turned off. All the signs had to be turned off at 10 p.m. so the telescopes could see out, see other planets. Well, a lot of those restaurants were open past 10 p.m. And so they were impeding on their First Amendment rights to advertise where they are when they're open.
That part Whoa. And so that's what people use. It's my First Amendment right to have my sign and to promote my restaurant or whatever it is past a certain time.
That was one of the angles that they tried to work and try to make it over. Now, the dark skies ordinance did work to a point, but I think it was 11 a.m. or midnight, and we found a concession in the middle. But I remember in the late 90s and early 2000s, that literally that was the conversation, was they were impeding on our First Amendment rights. So I find it very ironic that I'm talking to such a lovely lady here that has all of these skills, and she finds herself in the mafia of the signage world. And,
Yeah.
and I'm laughing because everybody that knows this, that's in the signage industry, knows as soon as you get into the signage world, you're never leaving.
You're never leaving.
No,
You're never
never at
leaving.
all. I don't care what industry you go to, whether you sell raw goods to the sign guys, whether you stay in the sign company, whether you do mergers and acquisitions inside the sign, you will never. I'm in the software world selling to sign people now. I mean, it's just you can't leave.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Uh,
I'm curious about this because we are so new, and as we go to these conventions and we meet people such as yourself, you're like, oh wow, okay, what have we got ourselves into? It's fantastic.
oh, it is fun, but it is you are on that same path. If I were to take one thread line throughout your whole life, you
Hmm.
are communicating, and the
Yes.
sign is communication. So you are my communications guru now. You're my master at this.
Thank you. That gave me chills. I'll take it. Thanks. That's kind.
I got, we got to hop right into it. How
Okay.
did you get into the signage business?
Well, interestingly enough, so as we were saying earlier before we hopped on here, it's our 1 year anniversary this past weekend. And what happened is that in 2024, my husband's job changed dramatically. So he used to be, we came here from LA, and he used to work for a film finance and distribution company. And a small company, it was just 3 people, but they changed their model, and that model meant that his salary went away. And so, as happening to many, many people, there's this shift happening, right? And so for him, he had to do this personal thing of like, come to Jesus, what do I want to do with my life? Because he came from the wine industry, before the film industry, and now he's like, here I am. And his journey through this was a entrepreneur coach, or excuse me, a franchise coach reached out to him on LinkedIn and pitched 3 different franchises. And one of them was Sign World. And we are a part of this franchise. It's a franchise model, they say, maybe a business model. It's not like a Wingstop or McDonald's where you're paying royalties and all of that. But what he liked about the model was that it felt like his MBA project or program or whatever. And he responded, he's like, I understand this, this, and this. I can do this company. And as his wife and his partner and his friend, when you see someone in the thick of it, I'm usually like, hey, what's going on? What do you think? In this moment, I just had to step back and give him the time to review research on his own. And like, is this what, to come to the conclusion that, yes, hey, gosh, we're going to do signs now. And because I'm the performer that I am, he's like, Pep, I'm going to do this. You can keep doing what you're doing, but this is going to be my thing. And so that's how we started, Aaron. Like Matt was just going to be doing this. And then because I am who I am, and because, as you know, the sign world is gosh darn hard, it was this feeling of like, no, we need partnership to make this happen. And again, that's how we came to collaborative sign and design, because it is a collaboration between the 2 of us for others. But that's how we got to it. And what I do love about life is that my degree and school is marketing and advertising. So I haven't strayed. I know fonts. I'm 56. No, I'm 55. So when I was in school, we were making, we were doing layouts by hand with the X-Acto knife and everything. And I'm right back to it. So I woke up one day, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been prepped for this moment my whole life almost. So that's how we are.
Wow. Okay, I'm with you. So you're 55. That blows my mind. I would have said mid 40s for sure. So congratulations. Whatever you're doing, keep it going. Keep it
Thank
going.
you. Thank you.
So fonts. So you were right at the era where the projector. Were you still projecting fonts onto the wall and then tracing them, or
Yes.
you were right at the computer, because you're right there. You're right at that line.
I forgot about that.
Yes. So you still had the projector, and you were still projecting the fonts on the wall and then putting on the butcher paper so the guys had something to utilize.
Oh my gosh, good memory. Yeah, you brought back a good memory. Yes.
Oh, I remember when I was 13 years old, I'd come. So that's where my dad started. So my dad was an artist. So he can draw you like right now. He can sit there and draw you. It's
Whoa.
amazing. Apparently, it skips a generation because I can't draw stick figure. So,
Think you're selling yourself short, friend, but yes, I hear you.
but I remember going up there and he would have the fonts on the projector blown up to the right size, and he'd have the scale on the wall. So it was a
Yes.
24 inch, 36 inch, and then he would trace him, and then he had all his different stencils. But that was
Oh,
the world of patterns before the computers.
yes, exactly. Oh, that gives me joy. And I have to interrupt. I'm sorry if you can hear my dog. So I'm trying to mute my microphone. I apologize.
They're just really upset that the mailman's there and they can't get them.
Exactly. But that's really cool. And I met an older gentleman who came from that world as well. He actually did the logo for some of my things. And to be with such as your dad, to be around those people to can see the artistry that it takes to create. Not to say that there's not art now, but to have pen to paper, and really getting into that exactness, I just think is a beautiful skill and gift, and I love it.
It's pretty neat. It really is.
Yeah.
When you look at that, it is really neat, and to see that there is so much art in font,
Oh,
and yeah, there's so much, and people don't understand.
don't get
There,
it.
I mean, what? There's thousands of fonts. I mean, thousands,
Thousands.
and yeah, and you see in the movies, because the movies do such a good job of picking the font that helps convey the message of what you want to feel. So when they and you touchstone pictures and the lightning comes through and it's got a very, very clean font. And then, Jerry Bruckheimer has his font. It's very thin, because he lets his actions speak for him and not his words. And you can just see every font they pick,
You
there's a
see it.
reason for it. And
Yes.
there's so much in fonts, and it cracks me up because when I ask my clients all the time, do you have a logo? And I don't even say font anymore because most people don't know what that is. I just say, well, what logo do you have? They struggle. And I'm like, do you know how important this is?
So important. And yeah, and you're right. Like coming to the table without your font or your brand, it's everything. And I'm not certain why people don't know that. And I say in the sign industry too, like don't treat your sign as an afterthought. Like this is a whole thing. It's a whole system. It's a feeling, and you hope is going to take you into the decades. And that includes like understanding the feeling and the meaning of these beautiful things called fonts.
Oh, it's true. It's so true. And then after that, then you got your logo, your bug, your watermark, whatever anybody wants to call it, and that's where you can brand. And there's so much that goes into it. I love it.
Just want to take a moment to talk about Square Coil here. Square Coil has been powering the signage industry since 2011, and we're only growing bigger and better and stronger every single day. Some of the latest updates have just made my life a lot easier. I'm sure it's going to make your life a lot easier. So if you haven't checked us out, go ahead and get on our website, squarecoil.com. Take a look. And if you have an outdated key, an old software program that's going to be closing its doors this year, definitely take a look at us because we can make that transition real simple for you. Take a look, squarecoil.com.
So this, you had your 1-year anniversary, which is a big deal.
Yes,
It's a big deal.
it's a big deal.
It is a big deal. So congratulations on that one. I definitely don't want to just skip over that. The 1
Thank
year
you.
is, anytime you start any business, the first year is rough because you don't have a rhythm yet. You're buying computers. You're trying to figure out advertising. You're trying to figure out a website. You're trying to get clients in, build a sign. And you forgot the X-Acto knife only goes through like 6 cuts, and then you got to replace the blade or else it'll squish the vinyl. And all the silly things that you have either forgotten or didn't know, and you have to live through all that. I'm going to say hell to get to the beautiful side of it, but there's a lot of learning in that first year. You got to give me 2 stories here. Give me a funny story of what happened to you and a horror story, because
Oh my
we
God.
all know the stories.
Speaking of this, and I want to cry over here. So our very first sign was putting up a vinyl logo on my hairdresser's door. She was so lovely. She's like, "Yes, I'll hire you." And so Matt and I, we were there, we're doing it because we want to learn, we need to know. And, after training and everything, they show us how to do this. So we're there doing it. I brought the blow dryer. I'm, trying to smooth it out and do all the things. And what is funny about it is the arguing that we have, no, it's like this, no, like that. And then like, I got to get my words out of my mouth because like I'm in the emotion of how stressful it was to get this very small job, small logo on a window. Like a very simple job as far as our industry is concerned. And we were struggling, but we got it, and it only took 2 times. We only needed two logos, and we finally got it up. But then the joy and the elation afterwards, like, we did this and we did it together, like that. And so that sticks in my head quite a bit where it feels like this, what is it, baptism by fire, like that. You're like, jump in, go, and then you learn, like, okay, we can do this. We made the right choice, and that's one. And so it's a horror story and it's a win. I'm giving it both, and then otherwise,
All right, I'll take it.
we'll take it, right? And then we have another one where we worked with another cafe that just opened. And on this one, we were more of the install partner for the job. And but what's so exciting about this is that the sign is gorgeous. We didn't get to make it, which, oh gosh, sad, but we did get to help with the journey of this cafe. And it's a 17-month journey for this brother and sister. The company is called Lay Moon. It's in Tempe here. And I want to shout them out because they did it right. They didn't treat their sign as an afterthought. They brought us in at the time that they brought us in, and we were able to help with permitting and all of that stuff. And when they opened, they had literal lines around the block. And that is a gorgeous, fantastic feeling for any business to be like, man, we did it right. And to be a part of that just happened last week. So it's on my mind. But it just gives me so much joy to be a part, to see a company launch, and because that's what we're here for. Like we're there to tell the story for them and with them, and make other people see like what's going to happen when I walk through these doors. And I think that's the beauty of the sign industry. I think it's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love hearing your stories because as you get bigger, more employees, bigger problems, bigger fish, bigger signs, and to listen to something that we wouldn't even blink at. Oh, vinyl, blink, yeah, done. And to hear that, you're going through that. But I remember when I was 16 years old and they sent me out to do a vinyl job, and I went through that same, or I measured 9 times before I put it up once, and thank God they sent me with a center line on the vinyl, so I knew which was the center of it.
Yeah.
All the little silly things that you forget about. But no, at the time, you're like, oh, no, don't do it. To this day, I will say that vinyl is not my friend. And my dad laughs all the time. He goes, vinyl senses fear. He goes, vinyl can sense fear. He goes, if you're afraid of it and you go slow, it's going to peel up and screw you up. Because you just grab it, rip it off. He goes, it'll be just fine. He goes, it senses your fear. And to this day, I still fear vinyl. I really do. It's hilarious. I'll go out and bend up metal, go out on a high rise. I'll go up on a lift. I don't care. I'll drill holes, hang it upside down. None of that scares me. None even bothers me. Super easy. A stupid sticker. Because I will crease that thing like nobody's business.
Exactly. And the bubbles. I'm going to tell Matt this. This is fantastic. It's true. It's like the dogs, like they sense fear just like vinyl does. It's very true. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And actually, I'll bring that back to an audition. It's kind of like you have to go into it knowing, like visualizing what you want to say and what you do with this vinyl so that things come out of your body in the right way and this vinyl goes up beautifully.
Yep.
That's
it. No, you do need to visualize that ending. You need to visualize it. There's no doubt. Oh, it's too good.
Oh,
so you started Sign World, so they obviously gave you kind of the outline, the structure of what is needed there.
Correct.
And then what tooling did they give you? What tooling did you choose to buy? What was like your first couple pieces of equipment when you guys launched?
Well, this is a good point. So what they do have, it's called a broker model. And so we are basically, we are huge project managers. And the beauty of this is that we have over 300 people in our network to work with, just in Sign World alone. So we are, I'm trying to remember how many years. It's new to Sign World to have this broker model. And the reason for it is because through the decades, which it's changing. And so it's a lot to have the equipment and to have the employees and to have all the things where you're spending so much time and energy and money on getting that part of the business up, where a lot of people are leaving that part of the business and they are just doing this on their own. They're like, I know how to get a sign done, but I don't need to make it. So Sign World started that model, and we are part of that. Now, in the next year, our plan is within the next 3 years to get our own shop. At least as we're talking about it. We'll see how that goes. Because we both want to make stuff. You know, the signage industry is about touching and feeling and doing, and we would love to have a shop. So to answer your question, they provided us with the model of how to do this as a broker first, and I'm really thankful because I have the opportunity, but I personally have the opportunity to learn the industry and learn about substrates and vinyl and you know, like learn what it is before I have this whole big insurmountable thing of like shops and employees and machines and crap, and then I get to learn what the industry is, and then I can have the stuff, the toys.
Well, good. Well, I like that because you got to learn that. You know, you got to learn. You got to learn, and the middleman or brokerage at the beginning is not a bad thing. You can learn all that without actually farming it.
I think so too.
My sign company is 44 years old.
44.
Wow. Yeah, 44. Wow. And it was a family business, you know. So I'm coming up. I bought it years ago.
And sorry, your family, or did you buy from another family?
The original is another family. So the March family is one who founded it in 82. Wow. My dad bought it in 97.
Okay.
And then I bought it 2 years ago.
Nice. Oh, good job.
Yeah. And so, and I'm not even there. You know, my wife runs that company, believe it or not.
Girl
so
power.
My wife runs a sign company and I run the software company. And but we have they're together. They're married together. Every time we use some of the software, we got to test it in the sign company. The sign company gives us feedback. We build it in software. So those two companies are forever married. They're joined at the hip.
I love it.
But it's just neat to see, you know, all the little things that come back to it. And kind of as I'm talking to you, I'm reliving some of the roots and the simple basics of it. Yeah. And in a lot of ways, there's not a lot of difference to it. We overcomplicate things, but there's not much difference between what we're doing now and what we did on day one.
Yeah. And can I ask you, I know it's about other things, but what was the spark in your brain where you're like, this software is what we need and I can do it. I can make it.
The iPhone. Oh. So it literally was the iPhone. In 2007, I believe, I stood in line for the iPhone, and I was one of those guys. Day one, have to have it. New tech, gotta have it. And I got it, and I played with it that night. And the next day, I came into the office, and we're still sending proposals on Word documents.
Yes.
And people could literally change the Word document to whatever they wanted, and I was like, we are in the dark ages, and I have a computer in my hand. Like this is not good. We need to move forward.
Love
and that's what sparked it.
Oh, good for you. That makes me I'm genuinely very, very happy for you and proud of your ability where you said this is what it is and you had the tools and, you know, I know it ain't easy, none of that, but you went for it and I'm really happy for you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I will tell you that year 1 and year 2 were very exciting. In years 3, 4, and 5, I can't tell you how many times I want to shut the doors.
Thank you for that information.
Oh, yeah. No, it was brutal. It was brutal.
Yeah.
And I had a good support group around me and they kept saying, you're at the 5-yard line. You're almost going to make it. Don't give up now. Yeah. And I kept charging. It was mentally tough.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy I stayed the course. So happy.
Yeah, it's important. And especially for entrepreneurs, anyone listening, it is like year 1 is its own thing. Year 2 is its own thing. 3, 4, 5 are their own things. And you're right. You just have to be able to stand in there and oh my gosh, just hold on.
No, it's difficult. It really, really is. I was super lucky because I was working at the sign company, so I had an income, and so I was able to run both companies at the same time. If you're starting a new company and that is your livelihood, that's a whole new ball game.
Whole new thing. Like we're all in here, friends. So you've got to make it work. Number 1 and number 2, you got to make it work.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very much so. So how is, I'm going to go a little personal here and I'll share my own.
Okay.
How much do you and your husband actually have a personal life away from the sign shop?
Yeah, no, not very much. Everything is signs these days. We're talking about it in the morning, evening, middle of the day, all the time. Dishes, signs, you know what I mean? So yeah, but there was a conference I went to or something, and there was a couple, and they said that they made a plan for themselves that after 7 o'clock or whatever the time was, no more sign talk. And they said that that's helped save their marriage. It helped save them from working all the time. And that stuck with me early on. So there are times where Sundays are pretty much the day where we shut it down and we really just test ourselves to not talk about it, because otherwise it really is, what's that word? It's permeating. It's invasive to you, but it's also, let me stop. Invasive is not the right word, because we do enjoy what we do. Invasive sounds like, it's just in you now. And so you really do have to stop and let's go walk the dogs. Let's go to a movie. For our 1-year anniversary, we almost didn't celebrate. We're going to go have a steak dinner, that type of thing. So yeah. How about you?
Oh, the same. No, absolutely the same. We try our best to leave it at there. And we went on a date night. This was some time ago, probably in the last 6-7 months. And we said, no talk of shop. She's like, absolutely no shop talk. And then we stood there, sat there and stared at each other. And we didn't know what the hell to talk about, because that's all our life was.
Your whole life. I know.
Yeah. And so we just sat there kind of like, I'm like, this is stupid. I want to talk to you. She goes, yeah. So do you know about this? And then we just ended up talking shop, and we ended up having a great date night because we were able to converse and communicate. Yes. So to each their own, truly.
Completely. And also, it sounds like you guys have a good friendship, and if that's what you're both bonding on, and why not? If it sparks you, if it lights you up, then why not talk about what gives you joy?
Yes. No, exactly, at the end of the day. And so that we tried the blocks and stuff. I had a CFO. She's really good CFO, and she had a rule that she stopped talking about work or stopped thinking and talking about work when she passed a certain stoplight.
Ooh, nice.
So she's driving away from work. She's thinking about it. As soon as she passed that stoplight, she's not allowed to talk about it. Now she can think about her home life. She can think about that. And that was literally a line in the sand. Perfect. Physical line in the sand. And that was her world. And that's what she did.
I like that too. Thanks for sharing that, because that's a good one for anything. If you just need some sort of a marker for yourself so that you can just physically go into the next thing. That's helpful.
Yeah, no, it was neat. It was neat when she did that. I tried it. God, my OCD could not. The stoplights turned into the next stoplight, turned into the next stoplight, turned into my garage, turned into my bathroom, turned into the bedroom, turned into the pillow. That's my line, I guess. So
oh yeah, okay.
It never worked for me.
It's all right. It's passion. It's your passion. Sign making is your passion. Sign world industry. Yeah,
I love it. Let's see here. You had said something earlier. Mm-hmm. You said Independent Film Festival. You guys actually have something coming out. Am I correct in saying so?
Correct. Yes. So this is the Chandler International Film Festival. Our film, it's called Ownership, and it is about 3 generations, and there's a secret involved, and something bad happens. I won't tell the plot. But what's super interesting about this and exciting about it, I wrote the film, and Matt and I are both co-producers on it, and it's through his former job. He's still a consultant with the company, and they're also our friends. But it's called the Lager Lane Group, and that is the executive producer of the film. It's a short, 30 minutes, and it is my pride and joy. It really is. We started writing it before pandemic, just to also give people perspective of how long with a company, with a film, with a book, no matter what, these things take time, and you have to know that and honor it. And so this year, beginning middle of 2024, we have a festival run, it's called. And so now the film has been on festival run. It's winning awards, which is super exciting. We're winning for best directing. We're winning for narrative short. For this festival, we're nominated for Best Women Short category. So we screen on the 31st, and it's the first time for me to show a film in Arizona, because we moved here 5 years ago. And so that also feels very special. And I'm super excited about it. It's going to be great.
Awesome. That's awesome. And 6 years in the making,
Yo. Exactly.
Between the writing and the filming and the editing and then the music and all the pieces that come together to make it.
everything. And then, and again, like, I can bring that back to sign making and the sign industry, because you have a concept, right? And then you have these materials. What do we need in order to tell this story? What is it going to look like? Who's going to work on it? It's a whole production. Sign making is producing, as far as I'm concerned. And at the end, you get this product that everyone, you hope, is proud of. And some people will like it, some people won't, but it's going to last around. Do you know what I mean? Like, there are a lot of parallels to, art specifically, but to filmmaking and theater making that is related to our industry. It's great.
There is, and my dad and I used to always say this all the time. The signage industry is the only business that clashes between the left brain and the right brain.
Yeah.
Because you got your business side and you got your art side, and you need both to survive in this business.
You need both. Yeah. And that's also with partnership. I don't know if it's like this with your wife, but Matt is more of the left brain. And I'm the creative and he's the analytical person. And there is a little bit of a clash sometimes, because in my whole life, I've always been like, let's bring the elephant in the room. And he's like, how are you going to do that? And I'll be like, I don't know. You figure that part out, but and that also can cost time. So I'm learning, like, I can't have so many elephants. I got to, do a mouse. And, but exactly, I'm loving seeing that the parallels of how both sides of our brains can work to make this happen.
Oh, it is. The signage industry it's a clash. And I think that's why there's hardly any softwares out there that work with it, because they have to understand the artistry. They have to understand the business side. There's a little bit of everything. It is not one or the other.
Yeah.
And so this is a very unique industry that most people don't understand unless you've lived it. You really have to live it. And you are a person that I would love to talk to in 3 years, and then talk to you in the 5-year marker. And I go, okay, remember what you were like in year 1? Now where are you at on year 3? And like, oh my God, we got this router and we're trying to do this paint booth and I don't know what I'm doing. And we got to mix these colors. And there's just so much that adds to it and goes with it.
There's so much, Aaron, and I'm excited. I'm a little scared, because I like, I don't even. It feels like it's the tip of your pinky where we are right now, or maybe a speck of dust. Mm-hmm. And we're doing well with our clients. We're treating our clients very well, and I say that on purpose. I want people to trust us, and we work very hard to build that trust, because that's what we have. I know trust. And on top of it, my goodness, there's so much to know, which makes this industry very exciting, honestly. Mm-hmm. Like, there's so much. And then you can figure out, well, which lane do I want to go to? Do I want to focus on, I don't know, just channel letters or whatever? You know what I mean? Just like, there's places that you can focus on and become fantastic at it.
And rightfully so. Make sure you definitely niche down to your part of the signage world.
Yes.
I always cut it up into 4 pieces. And let me see if I remember them all. There's textiles, which is basically shirts, hats, clothing. There's trophies and business cards. Mm-hmm. There's the digital print world. Mm-hmm. And then there's the metal world.
Ooh, metal.
Yep. And so the metal world is where I'm at. So I don't do digital printing. I do it when my client needs it. For the most part, I'm the metal guy. So I'm building the channel letters, the monument signs, the cabinet signs. That's what integrated signs is. We're definitely a metal shop. We don't go chasing after print work.
Exactly. And no vinyl.
Yeah. Well, I got a big vinyl shop, but I got guys that do that for me now. They're way better at it than I am.
No, that's great. Thank you for that. No, it's very, very helpful. Yeah,
But definitely find your niche, whatever you find is best for you, and double down on that niche. That's where you're going to do a lot. Yep.
Yeah. And again, back to theater and back to like the musical theater, I said, if you know that you can't do all 3 things well, then figure out which one is good for you.
Oh, very much so. And not everybody is an owner. Let's not lie. Literally, the way I see it, 1% of the world is meant to be owners, and 99% are supposed to be a worker, a manager, a marketing person, an offshoot of the company. But very rarely is an actual owner that's going to excel and do well.
Absolutely.
A lot of my teammates that come on board, they go, Aaron, I want to own a company. And I'm like, do you?
Because
yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot. And yes, and the thing is that I could not run this company alone. Do you know what I mean? I know that about myself. I need partnership no matter what I do, which is also, I love collaboration. that's what filmmaking is. That's what theater is. And, to your point, if I'd started this on my own, I would already have failed. I'm not good at certain things, so I agree. And the sooner that you can find that out for yourself, the better. And none of it is failure. It's actually positive, and it's knowing your strengths. Like, what am I actually good at? And if entrepreneurship is the thing, then fantastic. And if it's not, great.
I couldn't have said it better myself. This is not, if you try and be an owner and it doesn't work out for you, that's not a failure. That is, you tried. You already did more than most people do because you actually tried.
Yeah.
And to find the niche, find what you're best at, what you're good at, what you enjoy and you're passionate about. That's way more important than whatever seat you're trying to sit in for whatever society tells you to. I mean, that's not important. That's not going to work out well.
No, it's not. And that gives me huge irritation as well, because we're told in life, like, go do this, go do that. Or even me, I started out in financial world. I worked in mutual funds in Chicago, and my original major was business administration because my dad was like, do business administration. I didn't like it. I don't like math. I don't like all those things. And I kept thinking the corner office, I couldn't see it. Like, I'm not maybe now my own corner office, but I couldn't see myself like going up somebody's ladder and ending up in some high rise behind glass.
Oh yeah. No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And that's good for you. Good for you. Because a lot of people, they don't know what they want. So therefore they climb some invisible corporate ladder because they don't know any better. So they believe that's what they have to do. It's, as you're finding painfully aware of, it's pretty lonely at the top. You have you and you have the reflection in the mirror to talk to, and that's about it.
And that's about it. And who wants that? I mean, some people want that, yes. And the other thing which you touched on is this concept of, if you don't know what you want, then others will tell you, or other things will tell you. And taking that time to I'm a very energetic person. So like taking that time to get centered and ask yourself questions and be curious. And what do I want? What do I need? And I will say, for my own journey, which I didn't even tell you yet, the reason I became an entertainer is because I wanted to be Paula Abdul. Like, she was my marker. She danced in the NBA and then she was a singer. And I'm like, I can do that. So I danced for Chicago Bulls. I danced for Milwaukee Bucks because I'm like, okay, now I'm going to be famous like Paula Abdul and I'll be a singer. And it didn't quite work out that way, but I had this marker. I knew that I knew I wanted to perform. I knew I wanted to communicate through art and singing and dancing and being on stage. And I figured out, okay, this is a path I can follow, Paula's, and how do I get there? And it's decades of going around trying to get there, and the reason business administration came up is because I know at that age, and my dad told me later, he's like, you didn't say what you wanted to do. We were nervous. So I said business administration, and then so you do that for the 6, 12, 20 years until you get to you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get to yourself, and you've got to find the way. And I believe 100%, like, if you want to live in New York, go live in New York. If you want to live in Timbuktu, go do it, because you just have to follow yourself. And if there's something speaking to you about it, then you've got to listen.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I wish more people did.
Agreed.
I really, truly, in my heart, I wish more people did, because if they did, there'd be a lot of happier people.
A lot of happier people. As scary as it is, people would be happier. We can't even touch on that, because they'll get upset just because they're not happy. They're not happy. So if you're listening and ain't happy, get happy.
Beatings will continue until morale improves.
Totally. Crazy.
I'm going to close this off with a fun. What was your favorite project in this last year?
Oh, the favorite project, I think it has to be, I'm going to give two. It's definitely the Lay Moon, because it's so beautiful. And that was really about the experience. And there's another one. It is so small, but it is so beautiful. So our friend Nicole, I met her in the Gilbert Chamber, and she is a chiropractor. And she brought me to her space, and she's like, I want to do this sign and this sign. And I could tell that something was off. And I'm like, what's going on? And she couldn't say it, but I realized, I'm like, you don't like your space. you don't want to be where you are. So no, we're not going to do a sign right now. So we did an A-frame for her, small, just so that she could have some presence in the space that was occupied with others, energetically and physically. And she's got her new office. She got the new keys maybe a month ago. And now I went over there last week to talk about what the sign's going to be. And that
Very cool.
is amazing to me.
Yep. You're her brand ambassador. You're going to
Yeah.
take care of, make sure that she knows what she's doing and where she's going. I love it.
Exactly.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Well, you got your right headspace to be in the signage industry and make it. If you love the brand, you love the fonts, you love the people and want to make them shine, you're going to do great in this industry.
Oh, thank you. I'll take it. Thank you so much.
The people that are trying to get in it for the money, it's not that. You're going to make your 10 to 15%, you get real good 20%. And that's all you're going to get out of this industry. It's just no matter how hard you work, that's all you're going to get percentage wise. But to have the joy of seeing everybody's name go up in lights for them and stuff, that's the real passion. That's the fun.
I think so too. And thanks for saying that. And I've never been a money person, which is why, as an artist, there's not always money, but passion is everything. And I know passion doesn't put food on the table, but it is a driver. And I do believe that the sign industry is that. And if we can help others make their dream come true, help people open their doors, help people be seen and noticed and have their dreams come true, that's everything to me, and it's everything to Matt as well. So thanks for saying that, and we're excited for what's to come.
You're going to have a lot of fun. It's going to be a journey. There'll be a lot of ups, lots of ups and downs and all the places. You ever see that cartoon Family Circus? Where they show a little kid and his map all over the place? That is us. You're right now.
It's all over.
And it's going to be a good one.
Thanks. You're awesome. Thank you.
So if anybody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way to contact you?
The best way, I'm going to put our company forward. Yes, I've had many lives here, but let's go to Collaborative Signs, like it sounds, COLLABORATIVE, and signs with an S.com. And then if you want to have fun on the socials, you can find me as Peppur the Hot One, because that's who I am. And it's PEPPUR, the Hot One. So on Instagram and all the places. Those are two good places to find more about us and about me.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you and chit-chatting about the signage industry and how you got into it. And I thank you for your time.
You're delightful, Aaron. I love what you're doing. Thank you for having me. You inspire me. I've learned a lot in this short time, and I'm really grateful for this moment. Thank you.
Well, am I going to see you in Orlando? Are you going to make it out to the sign show in Orlando?
Yes. We talked about it at the steak dinner. So yeah, I think we're both going to go. And if we don't both go, then Matt will be there for sure.
Okay,
that's going to be fun.
Well, definitely, you're going to have a lot of fun. You both need to go because it is overwhelming.
Yes.
You're going to walk down those stairs and your eyes are going to bug out of your head. It's going to take you 2, if not 3 days to walk the entire floor. It's so big and massive.
So big.
But make sure, come over and introduce yourself. I'll be at the Square Coil booth for those 3 days.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. Can't wait. It's going to be delightful. Can't wait to give you a hug in person.
Love it. All right, my dear, you have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thank you, Aaron.
Okay.